be recording. So something that I was actually thinking about on the way here was obviously MMA, jiu-jitsu, martial arts has had a huge rise in like the last 10 years or so. But specifically women's martial arts, women's jiu-jitsu within that in like the last 5 years, I think it's been crazy. And I think a good example, the difference when I did my first ever competition, that first match that I had was the first time I had ever rolled with a woman. So I did all the training up until then with men, and that was standard. Like I didn't really know any different. Now, say like in the changing rooms, or like, you know, just spoken to Bella, something that really strikes me is like the next generation and like the younger girls. And I was overhearing, like, while I was getting changed, like them talk about their GCSEs and saying like, oh, you know, I gotta do no-gi and my dad's waiting to pick me up, or like no-gi after school or something. The idea of no-gi after school is a crazy notion to me, like, because it was so abstract. But the fact that these like women are growing up with this as like something built into their childhood, I don't know, it's like, it makes me like really like happy. It makes me very warm, you know. My background's in like cyber security, so I'm a big nerd. I have a maths degree. I went to Nottingham, did my maths degree, and then do like consultancy now. I think what's very funny, maybe a lot of people can relate to, is that I feel like I'm two different people. Everyone at work thinks I do karate. Everyone at jiu-jitsu thinks I'm like a hacker or something. But I do find it really difficult to talk about jiu-jitsu without sounding like a psychopath. And if anyone has any notes, that would be great. Because people know UFC or like kickboxing or whatever. And I have to be like, so it's not punching, but it's breaking bones and choking people out. And people just go like, oh, cool. And then the conversation kind of ends. So yeah, I need to be able to navigate that a bit better. Per fight or something, you know, you get it, it's like a scaled entry fee. So yeah, I think, and then you've got the other end of the spectrum where you've got, I don't know, say the 80 kg blue belt men that have, you know, 17 people in their bracket, and then they could also end up with just having one fight because they get knocked out. The good thing about having, you know, 3 people is that you often get like a bit more of a round robin, and maybe you can have several fights. But I think maybe we're in a bit of a young phase of competitions where they're just like, okay, let's get everyone in a room and let's just apply a blanket tournament style to everyone, when there could probably be a bit of a smarter strategic way to ensure that, I don't know, maybe like have group stages for the really big, for the big categories, and then have it done some way to ensure a certain amount of fights. I'm sure there is a way, it just feels like we haven't had that iteration yet, because we're still stuck in just like the regular tournament style. I like the Valhallas. I've done a few of them so far. Shout out to Nolan. It's been really, really fun. I like, you know, having a nice walkout is really cool. The Enyos as well, shout out to Josie. They have been incredible. It's always extremely nerve-wracking, like the week leading up to it, even before, and I'm just like cussing myself out, why did I sign up for this? I don't want to do this. And even like the few hours before, just horrible. I really am just, yeah, freaking out. And then as soon as you walk out, and it's that moment of like, there's no return, and you know, you hear your song or whatever, and then people cheering and you're on the mats, it's like, all of that horribleness is gone, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is what I want to do, this is sick. I've always been like a nervous exam taker. I'm always like, under pressure, I've always felt very sort of shaky. Listening to music obviously helps. Having people around helps a lot. I think for competitions, it helps to have both jiu-jitsu and non-jiu-jitsu people there. Sometimes when you're around jiu-jitsu people and they're like, okay, so what's your game going to be? Think about your game. And you're just like, okay, I don't want to talk about this right now. But just talk, say if I've, dragged my mum to a tournament, be talking about whatever drama's going on her side of the family. I think sort of leaning on the people around you and
10K on the line. If you win first prize or second or third, what would you do with the money?
That is a really good question. I have not thought about that. I'd love to say like boat party or something like really lavish, but realistically it's going to be put in like an investment bond somewhere, something kind of boring. It's probably going to go into savings for something responsible and mature.